Welfare is gone. They just want, funds for schooling, gone. Today's youth is crazy angry and they're learning faster. And America is scared to death of that shit. They gonna blow us up before they let us come into power. You can believe that shit. All that shit's gonna burn. All of it.
So you believe in some kind of Armageddon?
Yeah, most definitely. We in the last times and days right now. The Illuminati's in effect. See, the Illuminati ain't nothing but like it's gonna be a second Great Depression out here in America. Except this time, corporate America's prepared themselves for it. Meaning when it hits, their money is gonna be safe. As far as the rest of us that don't own our own businesses and things of that nature, so we're gonna be killing each other in the streets, man. Mad Max and Beyond Terrordome and all that is gonna be on, man. And they're gonna have to blow us up, which is what they're gonna do. They're gonna inject us with these, they're gonna say it's like for everybody mandatory AIDS testing because AIDS is so widespread. They're gonna be giving them vaccines for it so they don't catch it off top like measles, mumps and stuff like that. But in all actuality, what they're doing is putting microchips in and your babies so they can keep tabs on where you're at. That's deep. They're not.
All right, Shalom. I want to start out by giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, Shemel, Shabbat, Shemakakudash. Double honors to the apostle that is a great millstone. Shalom to the Akim out there pushing the word of sincerity and the truth. Yeah, I just wanted to do a quick lesson on this video I just seen pop up on social media with this individual Method Man. He's just speaking about so many words, government tyranny. It's a few things he said that's, not 100% accurate according to prophecy. What I will say, what he was saying about the blowing up, government blowing you up. There will be heavy points of destruction that will take place in these said cities and counties, all orchestrated by the hand of Esau Edom to create higher levels of control. Certain attacks where they're going to push the guys that we are the ones, the culprits behind, said attacks, which we know those to be, those T words, which we are not. That's why PSA came out earlier today in regards to us not associating with anyone that actually is promoting that. But nonetheless, going back to the, let me try to get this, Habakkuk. I think it's Habakkuk, the first chapter. I want to get this scripture queued up. But yeah, going back to the point of what he was speaking about, he said that, the government pretty much is going to have to aggressively come down upon our people, and that's pursuing the Revelations 12 and 12, because we're coming into information in high powered points of spiritualism, for lack of a better term, that the government will no longer be able to control. This so-called white man has, deceived the world, and he's had a heavy campaign all throughout the four quarters to just spread lies. Tell us that we're blacks, tell us we're Hispanics, tell us we're Native Americans, and give us all these different proverbs and bywords. When you look up their actual origin, it doesn't even stem back to a nation. In order to see where nations come from, you have to read it in Genesis the 10th chapter. All come either out of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And when you look up Puerto Rican, Puerto Rican just means rich pork. You can't look up the. Now, of course, we know those people to be Ephraimites, and we understand how to break it down thoroughly. But there is no actual people that's Puerto Rican. Neither is there people called black people. All right. We or Negro, we're Israelites, whether from the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, all the way down to Simeon and Issachar, which are the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. And he spoke on how it's going to be a time where this man is going to push that chip under the umbrella of whether it's AIDS or certain sicknesses. Now, that's more than likely not going to be the case if it's going to be like any type of sexual sickness or anything of that nature. More than likely how he's going to push it is by a T attack, or like we just had a few years ago, where they had pushed the Max, which that was a trial run, because of a sickness outbreak that we know took place in Wuhan, China, which a lot of those sicknesses either come from Africa or they come from the interiors in China. So this man is going to use in the coming times, we can't say it's the coming weeks, which we know it was very, very close. It could be the next few weeks, could be now it's a few prophecies, of course, that still have to build up, but nonetheless, the times that we're living in are moving quick, man. If you watching, the scripture says to watch as well as pray. If you're watching thoroughly and diligently, and you're, as it is written, comparing spiritual things with spiritual things, you'll see that we don't have too much time left, and this man is gearing up his forces. They just had this article, the statement about the drones that they're saying were so-called pretty much UFOs, on how they're the moving and motioning, and they weren't registered under the United States. So this man is in fear. We have, of course, inauguration right around the corner. You have President-elect Trump. He's pretty much back where he needs to be, which is Nero, and he's gonna push the envelope. You got Ukraine and Russia. You got all these wars and rumors of wars, as it is written, conflicts with Israel, as well as all these other Middle Eastern countries. And it's just pretty much either economic disparity, war, famines, pestilence, all these different things are taking place on a global scale, And I was just now watching a video where they were talking about the migrants going over there to being pushed back into their countries and how that's going to start a frenzy. So we're very, very close. Like I said, a lot of stuff that he was saying, a lot of people would think that this is just information for shock value. This isn't for shock value. This is the truth. And he said these things in 95. Which Method Man, the Fugees, Lauryn Hill, KRS-One, a lot of these guys, a lot of these Muslim ministers, Apostle Tahar always went into years ago. I don't know if it was Farrakhan or one of them. I forget exactly who it was, but they used to go to the school. There's even videos of Tupac being on the side, and you'll hear brothers actually teaching, prophesying in the backdrop where Tupac was actually in New York. So a lot of these 5%ers, they took a lot of the information from us, and some of these individuals, were reading the scriptures and hearing certain things. Of course, like it tells you in Revelation 13, they was listening to certain prophecies, and they seeing these things to be so, and they put it throughout their music. You can listen to a lot of the 90s music, and a lot of the stuff that they were saying was on point, because that there was a lot of high power information that was coming out back then. See, a lot of people went to sleep, but nonetheless, the message is still there, and the prophecies are still going to proceed. So this is Habakkuk 1:6. It says, "For lo, I raise up the Chaldeans, that bitter and hasty nation, which shall march through the breadth of the land, to possess the dwelling places that are not theirs." Yeah, so this was an ancient time where the Chaldeans, which was pretty much the chief house of Babylon, they were making aggressive campaigns, man, to possess dwelling places that are not theirs. So they were pretty much imposing positions and said lands and exercising rulership, dominance, and that's how a kingdom is established, by stepping on provinces and dwelling quarters that belong to enemy nations, and setting up garrisons, putting their pretty much their stamp and and also their religion and their ideologies and their philosophies within that land. and pretty much conquering, and we know that we're under the thumb of this devil, but it tells you in the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter, that he wants the souls of men. He's not stopping at just having us in captivity. Right now we're in captivity, but guess what? It's a lot of information that's still being pushed. It's a lot of prophecies that's still being spoken about that this devil doesn't want spoken on. These mysteries of who Esau Edom is, which that is a mystery. Babylon the Great, mystery Babylon, who the Israelites are. We have all these answers, and we give this information out for free. Scripture says, whatsoever things are revealed to you in secret, proclaim ye to the housetops. So we're not asking for donations. We're not asking you really for anything but to pay attention and to listen. The scriptures speak about, giving this word so to deliver every man his soul. All right. That's the main thing that the Lord requires, is your soul, for you to participate, for lack of a better term, or partake in this supper, because there is going to be a judgment. Like he said, do you believe in Armageddon or you believe in Judgment Day? And he was like, damn right, pretty much. So, we seeing that we're marching closer and closer into Judgment Day. All right. Or Armageddon. The word Armageddon goes back to the word Hamagad, which means mountain or gathering of troops. Really, mountain of troops. But it says, they are terrible and dreadful. Their judgment and their dignity shall proceed of themselves. Verse 8, their horses are also swifter than the leopards. Right. So that's talking about their military might, the advancement of their automobiles, so to speak, the type of military enhancements. Because if you look at the federal budget, it's mainly towards military expenditure. A little bit goes towards education and medicine and things of that nature, but the lion's portion of the budget is towards war, as is written in the book of Joel. Beat your plowshares into pruning hooks. So the expense sheet is being pushed towards as a war. If you look at the taxpayers' dollars, a lot of this money is being funneled towards Ukraine. There was a major budget a few months ago, and it was Taiwan, Ukraine, as well as those JOOs got a large portion of taxpayers' money, to help either defensively or to maintain their kingdom, like Ukraine, and this war that's taking place. But even with all this man's effort and all the money that he's stealing and taking and funding for certain wars of defense, you can't stop what the Lord is creating, so to speak. The Lord said it's his determination that he may gather the nations and assemble the nations and pour upon them his fierce anger. So you could try to thwart it. You could try to upset the prophecies. You could pray to you blue in the face. You can go and meet up with these delegates of Russia and try to have peace treaties with the president of China and these different prime ministers, and you can meet with them, and you could create certain unifications. But nonetheless, the Most High is going to step in the midst, and he's gonna pretty much throw a rod in between anything that this devil is looking to accomplish, because Scripture speak about how the Lord, when the Lord's word goes out, it shall not come back till it accomplish that which he pleaseth. All right, verse 8. Their horses also are swifter than the leopards, and are more fierce than the evening wolves. And their horsemen shall spread themselves, and their horsemen shall come from far. They shall fly as an eagle that hastens to eat. Yeah, so when the deal goes down, this man is not going to show mercy upon the United States citizens. He's going to deem everybody. They're trying to make it seem like we the only ones that's going to be called that word, the T word. They already had through the Patriot Act and these different legislations that when there is an attack on U.S. soil, that they have no knowledge of who it is, and whether it's germ warfare or some type of biological attack. Just give an example of a branch of a type of attack, because there's different type of attacks that could take place. It could be a pocket nuke. It could be a sickness outbreak. It could be a cyber attack. There's various styles of attack, but nonetheless, if there's an attack that's gonna cripple the United States infrastructure, this man has full range to impose martial law, and that will suspend all your constitution, your right as a U.S. citizen, to plead or even speak in court, to contend for XYZ that took place. Either you're gonna bow down unto the sword, which is gonna be that chip, or you're gonna be put to death. That's why it tells you that in the book of Revelations, how John seen those that were beheaded for the namesake. All right, let me get that. Beheaded, which they already have that in the legislations too. Is guillotines, man, cutting off the heads of those that refuse to actually take that device within their right hand and their foreheads, which it is the very chip, or the radio frequency identification device. It don't matter what IUIC says. It doesn't matter what ISUPK or any of these other bootleg off-brand Israelites say. It is that chip. We already see NVIDIA and these other microchip manufacturers, major investors, multi-billion-dollar investors, all running towards this technology, as well as Elon Musk with Neuralink, and they're looking to put in the brains of these people. If they can put this device in the brains or in the right hands of the world, this man will have full control, totalitarian control. He can cut you off. He can warp your mind. He can make you tolerant, all under the ability to control that device within you. So this is Revelation 20:4. And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Yahushua 1,000 years. Yeah, so there's going to be a time where we have to make a choice, whether to take that or die. And the scripture says, strive on the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. But like I said, I just wanted to speak on that clip. Thought it was pretty profound. A lot of stuff he was saying was on point. And I've seen a few clips with a few cats coming out of New York, and they were pretty much kicking that same sentiment, but they don't have the full truth. They just have elements of it, and they be a lot of it be accurate. You give credit what credit is due. And what's crazy is, like I said, I was 3 years old when this clip dropped. It said 95 on there, so this information has been out for decades. The apostles been doing it since the 80s, the 70s. King Masha, Elder Abba Bivens. This information has been out for a span of time, but now, of course, the scriptures speak about in days, shall be fully revealed. So with that, I'm gonna end it by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Shemal Bashai, by Shema Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, Akim.